What is up, all you gamers? Hope we're all doing well. Welcome back to the weekly Respawn recap.
Don't shoot them. Don't do that. Bad.
Are you ready?
Yeah.
Let's get it going. Some big news out there in the Valorant space. It seems confirmed now by Shazam, and also making a lot of sense for the Sentinels' current roster not going to be changing. In a quick question from a donor on stream, it was actually Shazam responding and saying that Sentinels, well, it seems that it's going to be Sinatraa not returning to their main roster.
Oh my god.
When Sinatra's suspension ends, will he have a
I've
spot
seen
on the
some
main
disgusting
roster?
Bro, what are these questions? No, this is our team now.
I mean, why would you at this point? You know, they're the best team around. No one can beat them. We'll see how Berlin goes, but why on earth would you introduce something when their team is already working out so well?
I mean, you take Iceland and you do so in a no-loss fashion, just an incredible fashion. Of course, you pick up 10s as well. They've been the front page of all Valorant news for so long, not to mention making it to Berlin and already going to champs as well to conclude the season. Yes, I mean, everyone knew this. It would simply not make sense. There are still a lot of lingering questions, though, around the future of someone like Sinatraa, who is now just a content creator for Sentinels for the time being. And as we slowly approach it 3 weeks from now, or less than that now, he will be unbanned and be able to compete for Valorant teams or in the VCT. The lingering question being, will he stay on for Sentinels for content, or will he go somewhere else to compete, and would anyone else sign him given the current circumstances? One of the crazier stories this past week, which caused a lot of discussion and a lot of viral clips out there, that's going to be one of the lengthier streams ever in Apex Legends history. iiTzTimmy, an FPS pro and a streamer who is well known for his skill across multiple titles, broke records this past week as he went a solo queue from bronze to Predator in a single Twitch stream, breaking 54 hours until he accomplished the feat.
I have trouble getting out of silver in solo queue, so like something like this, I feel like is mind-blowing. And to see someone sit down, I know last season, I believe he did it all the way to Masters, and now this time he did it all the way to Predators, which is the top rank in Apex. It's just impressive, the fact that you can do that by yourself. And I know top ranks, you run into some pro players and other streamers who are good, but by yourself in one sitting, which is dangerous, we'll say that.
Yes, I would not encourage other people to go and do
don't
that.
try this, but it's just impressive that someone has a determination and I guess the mental bandwidth to like get all the way to Predator.
It's such an incredible feat that did face a tiny bit of backlash. People saying, oh, there's a bit of concern there as well for anyone who's trying to stream for this long or do any activity when you're trying to think about, like, what have you ever done for 54 hours straight? And I don't think, besides breathing.
Yeah, nothing.
Like, I couldn't even sleep that long. So it's really an incredible feat, something I have never truly seen. So if you guys got something that compares to Timmy and his 54-hour Apex Legends stream from bronze to Predator, leave a comment down below because it's one of the biggest moments in gaming history. Despite all the horrendous news around Warzone as of late, with streamers leaving, not an anti-cheat yet, it seems it could be on the horizon. There are some good things, which could be a brand new Call of Duty title, maybe some big Warzone updates, so it's a lot of back and forth. It has not stopped, however, the gigantic news that Warzone, I know you're going to be surprised by this one, is still making a lot of money. $5.2 million per day, which is a report by NetBet out there.
That's gotta just piss more people off, I think. The fact that they're making $5.2 million a day and they somehow still haven't had this happening. What are you doing with all that money? I know you're doing something with it.
Just sitting on it.
But I'm not smart enough to know where all the money goes in a game that gets played, you know, by hundreds of thousands of people. But you have to ask, man, if you're making that much, where is it going?
Yeah, and certainly an anti-cheat apparently is coming with the new titles, so that's where some of the money went, and the rest of it, well, maybe going to be fighting some battles on the Activision Blizzard side. They certainly need a lot of that income, but yes, one of the top grossing games of all time. I believe it's over $3,600 per minute is what Warzone is grossing.
I'll still say, and people question, why won't Halo do it? And as well, Warzone makes so much money, so that's why.
Wait, why won't Halo do what?
Make a battle royale.
Oh yeah, they really should. And some big old news out there, an update on the SaveTheKids scandal. This one very big this past week for two different reasons. We actually have a response of Kay and at least one former FaZe member who could be maybe let back in the future, that being Tico. The premise of Kay's response was pretty much an investigation of himself, which by a large audience out there was not well received. For a particular reason, he did not actually go into any of the main accusations against him.
Sam insisted the devs to make the change to the world code. His reasoning at the time was that the people in the pre-sale wouldn't be able to sell enough of their tokens. It was completely Sam's idea to make this change, and it would only be revealed later on in our investigation as to why he did that.
I would say the main premise and takeaway from his video was instead focusing on how he somehow still lost money and passing all of the blame for this and the project onto Sam Pepper. If you guys remember back as well, it was Sam Pepper trying to blame K. What I took from this is we pretty much have two seemingly and accusedly very guilty parties, Sam Pepper and former FaZe K, and now they're both just trying to blame each other.
I don't know what the benefit of making these videos really is for K.
It's against all legal advice.
Right, so it's against
benefit.
advice, and then he is just seems like he's digging himself in a deeper hole, because just pointing fingers at other people is not going to help you. So maybe devil's advocate here in the back of my head thinks, is he just milking the situation for views on his videos and trying to stay relevant? But also, why would you want to do that? Just let the situation die. Like, just move on and you might be okay.
A really sucky part about the internet nowadays is, for some odd reason, at some point I thought, wait, maybe K and Pepper did this on purpose for the drama and for the views, which I don't think is the case, but it's crazy that even got in the back of my mind in the first place. Another giant takeaway from his video, he didn't touch on any of the individual accusations of his prior times potentially pumping and dumping other crappy projects onto his fan base and his viewers. I think for right now, he's trying to save face publicly, but to your point, that doesn't do anything for you privately if you're going to be actually investigated by some sort of enforcement. And then very lastly as well, we have Tico also responding, which by a lot of eyes out there has been the most innocent of the guilty party, if that does make sense. Currently suspended from FaZe. He goes on to defend them in his apology and why he's going to be taking a break for some time.
Even during this, when I've been suspended and almost in a way just hung out in front of the world as guilty, they didn't do anything. They were never involved in anything. They never had anything to do with any of this.
The overall of his video saying he didn't do it. He did not spend any more than 5 minutes with this project. He believed and trusted. He doesn't name any other names of to who got him in the project, but he was only attached to it for the charity aspect. And by all showcases out there, he lost the most of anybody, and he didn't sell a single thing and seemed to truly believe in the project.
You have to ask if that video he put out was just because he said he would put out a video. Like you said, I think no one thinks that Tico was guilty at this point, and you can kind of tell, and he seems very authentic when he talks about it, and it also seems like he's not trying to stir up more drama. He just wants to address it and say, hey, I'm not guilty of this, and everyone believes him. And so obviously support the Tico on
very
that.
much so. This was the most authentic apology I think I can fairly say I've ever seen, and it is seemingly so genuine. And if you compare K's responses to Tico, it is just night and day. But yeah, he does not name anybody. He says, this is for myself. I'm not being told to do this. I'm not being told not to do this. Like you said, just trying to clear the air of where he came from on the Save the Kids scandal. An update from both K and Tico, and I'm sure we're not done quite yet. Some big old spicy news out there as we slowly await the release of Call of Duty Vanguard. And yes, we've been teased. I've just said some words today that I don't know. We've been teased back and forth. We actually had some responses about the new title from both Call of Duty pros and community members, including someone like Nadeshot.
Nadeshot came out of his way to tweet, which I don't know if he knew the drama he was going to stir up, but to say that he was upset, not upset, but he's hoping that the maps on Vanguard are not going to be these depressing, dreary, war-torn maps, which I understand wanting exciting maps, but also when you have a game about war, you kind of expect them to be a little bit war-torn and not the most happy.
Can you imagine they come back with some Fortnite maps? They got marshmallows and like rainbows.
McDonald's. Who knows?
It's like the happiest World War II that anyone can imagine in a map. I mean, I understand where he's coming from. Most importantly as well, I think we saw a lot of responses from Call of Duty pros who every single year, I think it's attach and censor, every year they say this is going to be the greatest Call of Duty of all time. But everyone knows it. If you guys still buy Call of Duty, I get tricked every year. And then I barely play the thing because I realize how quickly I hate them most of the time, right? Then every now and again, and it keeps us freaking spending $60 every single year, and you hope it's going to be the good one.
Well, and other pros, I think it was Clayster, who said, hey, the only thing we want every single year is a good ranked system, and what is it, not to have skill-based matchmaking is what everyone wants in the game.
And even, I guess you could say even pros are back and forth on that, but a lot of pros don't want SBMM because they want to actually have some casual experience and then you have of course, we don't want to get into that. Never mind.
Okay, that's fair. It's just interesting interesting to see all of these professionals take different sides, some that are very optimistic and some that say, hey, just give us the ranked mode, man, and we'll be happy.
Yeah, and then they want that from the start, not halfway through your competitive season, but we'll see. All right. I'm going to get tricked either way. I just don't know how long I can keep on being tricked.
I think what you meant to say was thank you to all the hardworking people who have been working tirelessly for a ranked mode. That's what David Vonderhaar tweeted to Scump, if you don't remember.
Why do you have to... No hate their way. It's obviously a big rift in the community as to whatever a new upcoming Call of Duty is going to bring you. And thank you for bringing back Vonderhaar into this. But either way, we're excited, and we hope it lives up to the ever-lingering expectations for a new Call of Duty. As per usual, hope you guys all enjoy the Respawn recap. All right, we'll see you back here next week. You want to say goodbye?
Bye, guys. Be safe.
Bye, guys. We'll see you next time. Okay.